The truck world is losing one of its legends, an icon. Actually, three iconic semi-trucks are being discontinued. And in this video, I'm gonna explain to you exactly what they are, why is this happening, and I want your feedback as well. I want to hear and see what you have to say, so hopefully we can get some comments going on this particular topic. I'm talking about the announcement that Kenworth made just a few days ago about the discontinuation of the legendary W900, T800, and C500 models of semi-trucks. We're talking about large Class 8 semi-trucks that you may have been seeing on the highway near you over the last 62 years. Yes, according to Kenworth, the original W900 came to market in 1963, even though there is some confusion because it was first shown in 61, but really, according to Kenworth, the official introduction was 1963. And that by the end of this year, 2025, these trucks will be no more. They're also referred to as Legacy Edition trucks by Kenworth, the W900 Legacy Editions. And these trucks have been in our culture, in American culture, in movies, in television, very different posters, etc. on our highways. If you, over the last 60 years, ask somebody to kind of sketch a semi-truck for you, they may have sketched the W900 over-the-road, long-haul semi-truck. So it is a bit sad, but I think it's about time that newer technologies kind of take over. And so there were several iterations of the W900 trucks and the other trucks in question here. But here's a statement as to why they're going away after so many decades. Here's the press release right here. This decision is due to evolving emissions regulations and component constraints as the industry moves forward with new, more efficient, and better integrated technologies and products. A final call for truck orders will be announced later in 2025. So if you're looking to purchase one of these big rigs, you could still do that this year. But after that, that's it. Recently, these trucks have been produced over the last several decades in Ohio. So, but component constraints, and this could be a really, really important thing because some of the powertrains components, maybe some of the electronic components that are included in some of these trucks may be also discontinued. So you cannot build a truck over 63 years without some of the components involved in building it also being discontinued. If you're wondering what's the T800 series is all about, these are usually heavy haulers. For example, they sometimes haul heavy construction equipment and do some other work. They have many, many axles. And then, of course, the C500, it's kind of this off-road, in quotes, I'm using quotes. It's not for fun, it's actually for work. Some of these big rigs do all kinds of utility work, rugged terrain work. So the C500 actually started in 1972. And the T800 was introduced in 1986. But I remember the 900 series trucks, for example, from Smokey and the Bandit movies. I have an image thanks to hotcars.com. Classic truck, 1974 or 1973. There's a little bit of controversy here, but the movie was actually used 3 trucks according to this report. And yeah, it's a movie that I think many enthusiasts of cars and trucks and just movies in general just appreciate and would love seeing that old 900 series truck running down the highway, driven, of course, in this movie by Snowman. And now PACCAR, of course, owns Kenworth and also Peterbilt. We're focusing our conversation only on Kenworth. And a lot of the engines in these trucks, there's 2 things going on. Sometimes companies like this use other manufacturer engines like Cummins, for example, big 15-liter 6-cylinder turbo diesels with upwards of 600 plus horsepower and 2,000 plus pound-feet of torque. but sometimes also they build their own diesel engines, and PACCAR has a series of those engines as well. And of course, into the future, they will be using several of those engines. For example, the PACCAR MX-13 and others. Also very, very powerful and also more efficient and with different emissions technologies included because regulations are changing. And with that, of course, the trucks have to change as well. Also, Kenworth has their T680 series, which is more streamlined, of course, uses the latest technologies for powertrains, electronics, emission systems, and it is more efficient in general. So even though we love seeing those traditional big hood, big radiator trucks, look at that shot in Arizona, just gorgeous. Even though we love seeing them, it's pretty clear that something has to change. Those giant grills are just not as aerodynamic as some of the latest trucks. And efficiency is really important because it's your bottom line. If you could run the same route more efficiently, that means you're spending less money on fuel. And that's really important for all owners and operators and fleet managers of these trucks. But look at the interior of one of these trucks. So many gauges. They're all physical. And of course, sleeper cabs, lights, manual transmissions. Manual transmissions, actually with 3 pedals with a clutch, are also going away in a large part for the large degree. Most brand new trucks have automated manual transmissions, which means the computer is doing the shifting for you. And that can also be a little bit more efficient and also sometimes quicker, depending on what's going on and what type of transmission it is. But I wanted to do a video about this because it's a significant event in the trucking world. Well, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Should something like this just keep going, maybe with different powertrains? Would you like to see the W900 and several iterations of this truck, including the long hood and the big radiator? Do you want to see them continue just with modern technology on the inside? Or are you cool with this? Do you want to see other designs, different designs? For example, the W990 is still around. I'm showing you some images of this truck right here, also with the latest PACCAR transmissions. And of course, the streamlined truck, the 680s and others are moving into the future as well. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And yeah, I'm gonna shed a tear, I think, for this one because it's been part of this culture of American highway culture and also the business, the economy of this country for so many decades. I wish I would have been able to drive one of these manual transmission old W900 trucks. I haven't. Maybe I will in the future because a lot of these trucks still go to shows. And people, owners, operators, they keep them nice, polished, clean, sometimes customized. So it's always amazing to see what some of these owners and drivers actually do with these big rigs. Sometimes they go to drag strips and other shows, just cars and coffees. So a lot of really, really amazing stuff is happening with these trucks, but they're going to be discontinued according to Kenworth. I'll see you next time at the next video. Check out oldtfl.com. Thank you for joining me.
You guys love car and trucks? Well, I've got 3 great podcasts that you will enjoy listening to because we are deep into cars and trucks. And talking about trucks, right here is my man Andre and Case working on the next episode of Talking Trucks, where they delve deep into everything that is truckish, including breaking truck news, talking about the different models that are coming up, and of course, tearing down the world of trucks as only Andre and Case know how to do. But if trucks are not your thing and cars are sort of your thing, check out Carish, our podcast that is sort of car adjacent with Jen and Mary being the ish part of Carish. And finally, Tommy and myself talk all about cars at TFL's Car Chat, where we look into the newest models, talk about what's happening in the world of cars, break down the latest news. All 3 of these podcasts are available wherever you get your podcasts, so check them out. I think you'll really enjoy them.